Hi, my name is Brian Krajewski, County Board Member from District 3 and Chairman of the DuPage County Technology Committee. October is National Cyber Security Awareness Month, and DuPage County encourages you to take steps to protect you and your family from cyber crimes. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, over 13 million Americans became victims of identity theft-related fraud in 2013. Identity theft isn't limited to adults either. Even our young children can become victims of identity theft if their personal information isn't protected. It is also important that we know how to keep our families safe when using social media. In the following interview, our county staff talks about ways you and your family can protect yourselves from a variety of online risks. Thanks for taking the time to view this informational video.
Hello, my name is Craig Diekman. I'm with the DuPage County Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. And October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. With me today is Mr. Don Carlson, DuPage County's Chief Information Officer, and Don will share with us some tips and suggestions for cybersecurity. Hello, Don.
How you doing, Craig?
Good. Thank you for being here today, Don. Let's start with home computers. What can you tell us about keeping our home computers secure and safe?
So when we're talking about now the myriad of things that we have in our homes, desktop PCs, a couple of laptops, a couple of tablets, smartphones, the biggest thing that you really need to think about is keeping your security software current. You know, I think that's key, keeping your firewall on. Sometimes you'll find applications that will disable the firewall or ask if you want your firewall disabled. You don't want to do that. You want to keep it on. It's on there for a reason. You certainly want to have your automatic updates turned on. You'll see from time to time if they are on, you'll get a little shield or something that looks like that that says need to install updates, and certainly you want to do that. But you also want to make sure that the updates are from reputable sources. Typically they're going to be from Apple or Microsoft or whoever the computer operating system manufacturer is. So you want to make sure that you're putting those updates on. A lot of times those are security updates, so they're going to help you to keep the attackers at bay.
So kind of set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it, and if there's ever a suggestion to turn it off, don't turn it off.
Probably not a good suggestion.
Not a good suggestion.
All right. Many of us have kids at home that are using the computers. They may not be as savvy about some of these things. Any general suggestions for kids or where they can learn, you know, what they can do for safe computing?
We'll certainly have a conversation with them about what safe computing is. There are some parental controls that you can set in different software packages that you might want to take a look at, just like you would do for cable TV or anything where you have younger children that where some content would be objectionable and not something that you'd want them to see. So certainly the biggest part though is to have a conversation with them. Tell them what happens when they go onto these sites. You can ruin the computer, cause those types of problems, as well as cause problems for yourself.
All right, thanks, Don. Well, it seems like many of us now are carrying a computer on our belt or in our pocket, these smartphones, and there's a whole lot of information on those that's confidential or we just wouldn't want out there for everybody. What can we do to protect ourselves if we lose our phone or leave it laying in a coffee shop? Well,
the first thing that you need to do is at least have a PIN or some kind of security on the phone. So something that times out after a minute or so that you have to put a PIN in, and then the phone will start back up and you can use it again. Even though some people find that to be a little bit aggravating, that you're putting your password in 20 times a day, it's a lot better than leaving your phone there and having somebody have access to potentially a lot of information. In fact, I'm using a password keeper app on my phone. So if I lost my phone and had it wide open, there's the potential is that I could lose my password information and have that available to whoever had the phone.
Is some of the security software that you told us about for our home computers, available for our smartphones?
Yes, there is security software that are available for smartphones. Again, I would check websites, check the manufacturer's websites, or check the security software websites and see what you can do. You can set encryption on your phone so that at least the messages that are going in and out of the phone are encrypted and not able to be stolen over a Wi-Fi network, for example.
Okay.
So there's some things you can do there as well.
Don, passwords. We've talked about passwords. Is DuPage CIO a good password for you to use?
DuPage CIO is probably not a good password for me to use, one that I don't use.
What is a good password, and tell us about that.
Well, passwords, kind of interesting. Years ago when the internet came to fruition in the mid-90s or so, you know, you didn't see a lot out there. There weren't so many sites for you to go to and log in and put passwords on. Now everybody's got them, and they're everywhere. So there's some rules of thumb that we like to use for passwords, and typically they're a minimum of 8 characters. I would suggest that they use a special character or two in there, a mixture of uppercase and lowercase letters, and you know, don't use commonly used words or words that would be associated with you, like DuPage CIO.
Okay.
People might be able to guess that. We call passwords that are 8 letters and above and have those characters in it strong passwords, and a lot of times you'll see a meter on the side of the application or the website you're looking at, and it will say something like, it'll turn from red to green as you put more into it.
Let's move on to a big topic, Don.
Okay.
We all do things online. What are some of the many ways that we can protect ourselves online? It seems like not a day goes by that we don't hear about a breach at a major company, and information is compromised or a computer stolen out of the back of a car. Can you give us a few suggestions on what we can do, not only to protect ourselves, but maybe what we can do if we are the victim of a breach?
Well, the biggest thing is to not put personal information online. A lot of sites, Facebook, LinkedIn, for example, a personal site and a business site, will ask if you'd want to put personal information out there so that other people can take a look at it. It makes the site more personal, those types of things. That's a bad idea. It makes it easier for identity thefts to find you. If they even want to find your house, those types of things, it's easy enough without giving the information away. So I would say that's probably the biggest part.
Don, do you have any other general suggestions for us you'd like to share with the audience?
Just in general, with regard to identity theft, I think something that we should all be aware of is to be alert and examine, for example, your bank account online. For example, I don't get statements anymore. Mine's all online, like probably the majority of people. But you got to go into the credit card statement and you got to look at it to make sure people aren't using it or abusing it. And what I see is people become too trusting and they think everything's cool, you know, nothing's happening out there. You might be seeing a lot of 10s and 20 and $100 types of transactions out there that nickel and dime you to death. So I think you really have to be cognizant. There's still work that we have to do. It's not all on the computer or all on the tablet or all on the smartphone. We still have to be diligent and do a little bit of work ourselves.
We being the users,
we do.
People with these tools. All
correct.
Right. Well, Don, you've given us a lot of good information today. Thank you so much. I'm sure our audience will find it helpful. So I would like to thank our guest, Don Carlson, our Chief Information Officer here in DuPage County, for your time today and for all your good advice. And if you'd like to get more information, I encourage you to please visit protectdupage.org.